What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the two young defensive tackles, Gervon Dexter as well as Zacch Pickens of the Chicago Bears. I think both guys have a lot of upside. Dexter had multiple stops against the run, while Pickens ended up getting his first sack of his NFL career. I know it's preseason, but regardless, I'm very fired up to get into these two young players. Very excited to kind of see how these guys develop over the course of their career. Let's jump right into this film breakdown. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it with this very first play here. Zacch Pickens is going to get the sack on the quarterback. This is going to be an 8-yard loss. And I don't think a lot of people really understand one of the unique things with Pickens that at least I had seen from him in college, which is the guy really knows how to use his hands. This play is going to be a defensive line game with the defensive end coming around. And the hope is that Pickens can take both that left guard and that left tackle, eat both guys up, and hopefully the defensive end can come around. But the guard actually does an okay job, and he tries to swap this off, but the left tackle is not able to get there. And one of the reasons why is because if you look at Pickens' left hand, he's going to attack that guard, and he's going to bring that guard's hand down. And the guard gets into a bad spot here, because now Pickens is able to make up just a little bit too much ground where the tackle is not able to kind of stop and possibly come back out in front of a guy like Pickens. But it really starts with that left hand. He's going to get the left hand right there. He's going to swat the hand down of the guard. And from there, the tackle's just not going to be able to make that ground up. And from there, Pickens is going to get to the quarterback. And he's going to bring the quarterback down for his first career NFL sack. It's a really, really nice rep right there. Check this rep out. I want you guys to watch Gervon Dexter on this play. A really, really interesting rep because initially he wins the rep. But then at the end of it, he's going to end up getting pancaked and put into the ground. And to me, these are the type of reps that you can take as a young football player in your first ever preseason game and learn from, right? You can get better from these type of reps. First and foremost, right out of his stance, you're going to see he's going to try to cross chop this offensive lineman. And that's a very, very unique thing for a rookie to be able to do. Now, it doesn't work all that nicely, but he attempts it regardless. So what he does is he's going to get out of his stance. He's going to hesitate just a little bit to the inside. You see his body kind of jerk towards the inside. The helmet jerks towards the inside. And he's going to try to jump to the outside. And he's going to use the right hand to chop down. It doesn't work all that great. But from there, he's going to counter and use his second move, which is going to be the right club. Right there, he's going to lift up and move that guard. A lot of power to be able to do that to a massive, massive human being. And from there, he's in a pretty good spot to possibly get to the quarterback here. Like, there's no reason why when he has inside leverage, he should not be able to kind of get to the quarterback. Now, obviously, if you guys watch his right foot, as the guard here is going to readjust himself back into it, his right foot's going to slip. The right foot right there ends up landing sideways, and because of that, you can see the grass kind of comes up. And he ends up getting pancakes. It's a great recovery by that guard, right? But again, it's a good learning rep for Dexter. He's able to kind of cross chop, test out different things. This was 3rd and 9, so it was a true pass set. And these are the type of reps where you get better as you kind of develop over the course of your career. Alright guys, check this play out. You have an inside zone to the right, and both of the rookies are going to do a really, really nice job. But we'll go ahead and start it off with Pickens first. If you guys watch the young defensive tackle, he's going to do a great job resetting the line of scrimmage, right? And I know he does get moved a little bit here, but it really doesn't matter because it is a zone run. So naturally, the lanes are going to move to the right. The gaps are going to all kind of shift over. But he does a nice job making contact initially with this guard. He's going to really reset the line of scrimmage because he's able to control. You see him control, turn this guard and really set himself back up inside here. And you see the running back is going to try to cut it back to the left. Now, of course, you got a backside pursuit here in Gibson who really jumps the gap. Fantastic job jumping in front of the offensive tackle there. And just like that, because of that, you're not going to have any sort of length. But at the same time, you're going to see Dexter do a pretty nice job. You're going to see the guard here is going to try to reach in front of him to try to seal him off. And here's the thing with this play, right? If this guy is able to actually get out in front and seal this off, and let's say Pickens jumps the gap here and the tackle seals him out this way, well, at that point, you'll have a lane kind of develop between these two guys. So it's very important that Dexter here takes on that guard and does not allow him to reach him. And in this instance, he does that. He gets in front of him. He stays up. He's going to get that offensive lineman off of him. And just like that, you see that the play kind of gets blown up. But again, you really see it kind of coming together on this play when you really analyze both defensive tackles. One guy resets the line of scrimmage. One guy kind of holds his ground, doesn't allow the reach to happen. Another guy kind of chases it from the backside. Although he does jump in front of the tackle, he kind of crosses his face. Just a really, really nice overall rep. Watch Gervon Dexter here absolutely blow this play up. Watch him control, create that separation, and do what he did in college a whole lot for the Gators. I mean, to me, this is a beautiful, beautiful play right here. And both guys do a pretty nice job, but I think it's really Dexter that does a even better job. And to me, this is exactly what I want to see, especially early on. You know, you recognize that the guy lined up in front of you, the left guard there, is pulling from the right side of the screen here to the left. And you know that the center here is going to cover him. So naturally, you know where this play is headed. And he's going to fight through that, and he's going to go towards that side. Great job using the hands here, man. To me, this is beautiful hands. He lands both hands to the inside. His elbow is tucked in, so the center's hands land to the outside. And from there, he's going to just bench press this guy off. That right there is such a beautiful rep. And to be able to watch this stuff in slow motion, to me, is really the best thing on planet Earth. I thank the NFL folks out there for allowing us this type of footage, this type of angle, because as you guys know, this is not publicly available. But this is the type of stuff I love to watch by Dexter. He really controls this center here, really throws him to the side. And from there, you can see he's going to just kind of come back around and blow the play up. Really wraps up the running back here. He's like one of 2 or 3 guys that kind of make the play. And you can see even then with Pickens, he's going to do a nice job penetrating the gap here. And he almost is able to kind of get there. I do want to also state this though. When this guy blocks down, you guys know that the run is going to be somewhere over here. So one of the things I want Pickens to kind of develop in this instance is when you're being blocked down the way he is here, instead of just trying to get upfield, maybe you fight through that a little bit, right? And maybe you push back. Now, keep this also in mind. I don't know if that's what the coaches are telling him to do, but I do want to state this. You know, there are moments where you want to get upfield. And in this moment, you got guys that kind of swarm through the football. But as you guys saw on this play, when you do go upfield, a guy can kind of just push you up, as number 70 does here to Pickens. He's going to just push him right up. Now, if Pickens is able to jump the gap like he does here, when a guy down blocks him, he's going to just shoot the gap. If he's able to do that, and let's say it works, let's say he actually makes this play right here, I'm all for it, and I'm good with it. Of course, also means that the coaches would have to be good with it as well. So I don't know what he's kind of being coached. I think this is the first game of the season for these guys to really start to learn, really start to develop. But a beautiful job by Dexter. A good job penetrating as well by Pickens. I think, you know, as he continues to develop, he will make these type of plays, right? So it's a pretty nice job. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. Check this play out, you guys. A really, really nice rep once again by Gervon Dexter. Keep in mind, this is a 3rd and 2, and you're going to get an outside zone to the left of the formation. And I want you guys to just watch the play. Dexter's going to absolutely get there. It's just a gain of 1 yard, but the important part of this play is it's 3rd down from the 2-yard line. So technically, you're right there to possibly get in, right? And you see in this instance here, Dexter's going to do a great job jumping the inside and really blowing it up. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Zacch Pickens as well. As you guys can see on this play, he's going to get reached. And this is something he's going to have to continue to develop. I will state this as well. He does a pretty nice job as he does get reached. He does fight through the reach. But in terms of his run fit, he does initially lose his gap containment. But again, it's not a big deal because sometimes when a guy's able to get in front of you and cut you off, if you're able to take him and absolutely crush him and try to close down any sort of distance between you and possibly the very next plays, it could work. And in this instance, he does kind of help, even though initially he loses, right? He's able to kind of close the gap down there by really moving this guy. But again, the best case scenario here would be not to get reached. When the double team happens here and you see the center trying to overtake him, you got to hold your ground. You got to hold the run fit here. Don't allow that reach and really just try making the play. Again, not a terrible job, but not a great job either. But again, let's look at Dexter on this play, because one of the things I noticed right away is look at how quickly he reacts and reads this play. The second that this guard right here takes his very first step towards the left, and you'll see it here, the second he takes that step, you see Dexter absolutely mirror it. Like as quickly as this guy gets out of his stance, Gervon Dexter's out of there. And he's going to do a fantastic job not letting that reach happen by the guard. Keep in mind, because the play is to the left, this guy just has to kind of get to the inside here and possibly even reach up to the inside linebacker here, allowing the tackle here to kind of overtake the block. That would be ideal. But again, Dexter's going to snap very, very hard, and that's not going to happen. You can see the tackle here is going to be reaching to try to cut off Gervon Dexter. It's not happening, right? It is not going to happen. And both Dexter and 50, as you can see, the linebacker, are basically both going to go free. And that's because Dexter does not allow the reach to happen. So to me, Gervon Dexter does a really, really nice job on this play. But more than doing a nice job and doing his responsibility, he goes even above and beyond. He blows this play up. To me, this is what I like to watch. Beautiful, beautiful rep right here. So after that last play, you're now looking at a 4th and 1, and a pretty nice shot by Zacch Pickens on this one. He's going to get low, and he's going to really take that double team on there. The running back obviously does jump over the top, and he does score the touchdown, but you can see that Pickens is going to do a really, really nice job in this instance. He's going to get underneath the center here. He's going to hold his ground. He's going to take on 2 guys and hold his ground against 2 guys. And this is by design. All right, this right here is by design for the linebacker to loop around, and it does work initially, as you guys can see, because the linebacker does get through the gap. But of course, as you guys can see, the running back just jumps over the top, right? And there's almost nothing you can do in this instance. Dexter does a pretty nice job as well. He's gonna take on the guy, and he gets underneath him initially, doing a really, really nice job. I mean, look at that. Look at the hands. Look at the helmet. Everything's low, great leverage. Lifts up. That offensive lineman holds his ground. But again, as defensive tackles, you can only hold your ground because if a guy goes over the top, there's nothing you can do. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. All right, guys, check this play out. So you have a wide zone run to the left, which is very similar to an outside zone from the offensive line perspective. Basically, every player is going to try to reach a gap over. And I really want you guys to watch the 2 guards. And we'll slow it down and watch both guards. And the reason why is because both guards basically have the same job on the 2 rookies. So the left guard here has to reach Pickens, and the right guard here has to reach Gervon Dexter. If you guys look at the right guard and how he's going to try to reach on Dexter, I want you guys to watch him first, because Dexter's going to do a great job fighting through this. He's going to make sure that that reach does not happen. And I think this is why at the moment Gervon Dexter may be a little bit ahead of Pickens, because Dexter understands how to defend the run. In this instance, he makes sure that he doesn't get reached. And he makes sure that when it comes to his run fit, that not only does he have control of the offensive lineman the way he does here, but he has those arms out on this guy. And he really keeps his left shoulder free if needed. He has his head up. He's in control of this situation. And this is what you want as a defensive tackle. To me, this is a really, really nice job right here. In order to defend the run, and I say, we'll watch him first, but let's go ahead and swap over and watch Pickens. Keep in mind, this left guard does actually jump. He's going to get out of there super, super quickly. He may have jumped off sides here just a little bit. When you really slow it down, you can see that he's faster than the center actually snapping the ball. And this does happen sometimes, right? You get guys that'll hear the quarterback say hut, and those guys will jump out of there faster than the center can actually snap the ball, because both guys are hearing the same thing. Right, so in this instance, he gets out there a little fast. And if Pickens is watching the ball, then, you can say this isn't really fair for him because that guard kind of gets the jump. But the guard is going to be able to reach past Pickens. He gets to the inside of Pickens. And you can't have this right here. You cannot allow a guy to reach the inside of you on outside zones, wide zones, even inside zones. You can't allow that to happen. Now, obviously, the guy does jump here, so you do have to kind of keep that in mind. But I've shown you guys other examples as well, right, of guys, of Pickens specifically getting reached, right? We've seen some plays. So that's just one of the criticisms I have. And it is something he'll have to continue to work on as well. One of the things with this play here is the tackle has a reach block here on 47. He's not going to be able to get there. But it is Pickens' guy who ends up picking up 47, as you guys can see, right? He not only reaches on Pickens, but he's so fast out of there, maybe he couldn't stop himself, and he just ends up hitting the linebacker. It's a great job by that guard right there. But you can also see that the play only picks up about 3 to 4 yards, so it's not a major deal, but I do want to point these little things out because these are the things that these guys have to be good at, right? And when I say these guys, I'm talking about just generally speaking defensive tackles, and this is something that Pickens can kind of continue to improve on. Alrighty guys, I want you guys to watch Pickens here and watch the center. One of the things to kind of understand here, and to me this tells me Pickens is a smart football player. So the center here is snapping the ball with his right hand, which means After he snaps the football, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to take that left hand, he's going to put it right to Pickens. And Zacch Pickens is going to do a fantastic job attacking that hand right out of his stance. Bam! He's going to swipe the hand now. Because he understands that as a center, if you're snapping with the right hand, you only have the left hand to throw. And he's going to throw this because Pickens is lined up right over the top. He's lined up as a long nose or a one tech, whatever you guys want to call it. So to me, this is just a great job attacking that hand, trying to create some sort of leverage where you may be able to win. Obviously, he does get double teamed, so it's a very low chance of him winning, especially early on in the rep. But I will say this, one of the things I do like with Pickens is when it comes to pass rush, he uses his hands. And I'll be the first to tell you guys, if you want to be a successful pass rusher, you got to use your hands. And with Pickens, it's very, very clear. He tries to chop. He tries to cross chop, as we saw earlier. He tries to swim. He tries to use his hands to create separation. And that's going to lead to him having success over and over and over again. It's just a matter of time until this guy really puts it together, in my opinion. So that's an interesting rep right there. Let's go ahead and get to the next play. So one of the things that I want to see by both of these guys, but specifically Gervon Dexter, is when he's pass rushing, I want to see him try to use a little bit more leverage, be a little bit lower. Right, sometimes he does stand up, as you can see here, and that makes it really easy for an offensive lineman to anchor down. If you're going to pass rush, especially if you're going to try to bull rush as he does here, you got to get lower than a guy to really create that leverage and to move someone. So in this instance, that's not a good job right there by Gervon Dexter. Not a big deal. He's going to continue to develop as he gets these reps. Let's go ahead and get to the next play. Now, one of the things I want to say is I know these plays aren't necessarily sacks. I know these plays aren't even necessarily counting as any sort of stat. But these are the type of plays that I think over time translate into a guy having success. And I say that because not every single defensive tackle understands the concepts of pass rush. Not every single guy knows how to attack, right? So in this instance, number 96 here, Pickens is going to use the left hand. He's going to chop down. It's not going to work. And then he's going to adjust it to a club move where he's trying to break that contact. And to me, he's getting double teamed here, right? But the thing with this play is if the slide isn't to his side, he's in a pretty good spot to possibly win this rep, right? To me, if the slide by the center here is possibly this way, this play may end up in some sort of pressure because Pickens is using those hands, right? He's going to try to initially use the left hand to chop down. If it doesn't work, he's going to go to his second move and he's going to create some sort of leverage. That too. The right hand of that offensive lineman right there is going to land on the shoulder pad, and it almost seems like he's going to get caught holding a little bit right there. It seems like he's holding on to Pickens. And I know it's not going to get called because the center may be in the way, and there's some other guys over here kind of in the way, but these are the little things that I think will translate over time, right? Just some of the little things. Just wanted to point that out. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. So as Gervon Dexter does get low, as he does try to bull rush and play with leverage, he takes guys and actually moves them, as you guys can see on this one. He's going to play low. He's going to stay inside the chest here of this guard. Keep in mind, the guard's going to try to anchor down basically from the start of this rep. You can see Dexter is going to get low here. He's going to get both hands to the inside. And you can see the guard is basically going to drop the anchor from the start. And Dexter does a pretty nice job moving him right away, right back into the quarterback. Right, so that's a pretty nice job being able to get some movement right there. That's something I like to see, right? That's something I want him to continue to develop on. Stay low, and I know some plays he may not stay low. Other plays like this one he does, and he's able to kind of push this guy back a little bit. So that's something right there that I want him to continue to develop at as he kind of goes through his career. Great recognition here by Zacch Pickens. He's going to realize that the left guard's going to pull. He knows the center has to cover him. He knows where the play's going. I'm not sure if this is something that he may have seen on the sideline. I'm not sure if the coaching staff showed him the play that we broke down earlier. And maybe they told him what to kind of look for. Maybe they told him that, hey, when your guy pulls and the center's covering, like how we saw in the play earlier, you need to fight through that guy. Don't go upfield. Fight through him because the play is going to come to that left side, right? And in this instance here, he's going to do a great job getting the left hand to the inside. You can see the hands lined to the inside right there. And from there, he's able to kind of use that as leverage to get off the block here. He lifts up, gets off the block, and he's going to make the play here. A gain of about 3 to 4 yards, nothing major, but to me, it's still a really, really nice job recognizing. Right, keeping in mind, there's 30 seconds left in the game. These are true pass situations. Should not be a run down here, but for whatever reason, The Titans thought they could probably get a quick little draw or a quick little inside trap type run, and maybe it pops for, 10, 15 yards. They call it timeout or whatever. But it doesn't really work. And even Gervon Dexter is going to do a great job with holding on the double team, really fighting through it, getting physical, getting powerful. Doesn't get moved a whole lot. And it's kind of coming together, right? You see one defensive tackle holds down the double team. The other defensive tackle fights through a guy, and together you're able to kind of get there and make the play. It's a beautiful rep right there. Anytime you line up two defensive tackles to one side of the formation, aka to one side of the center, it's probably because there's some sort of defensive line game, some sort of stunt coming. In this instance, they're going to run a stunt. I haven't really shown you guys these plays, but the Bears ran a lot of stunts with both of the two rookies, right? They ran them a whole lot. They're trying to get these guys to really understand the fundamental part of running games, because it is such an important concept. The way to generate pressure in today's NFL, the way to cause havoc and really make it tough on the offensive line is to run games. So this is something these two guys will have to perfect, right? They're going to have to get better at running defensive line games. Not saying that they do a bad job at it at the moment, but there's just a technique to it, right? So they'll have to continue to develop and continue to learn that. Check this play out. Watch the rookie here, Travis Bell. Fantastic job right here. Just wanted to show you this play because it was so quick, so freaking nice the way he's able to spin here. Obviously, he's not able to stay up, but still, that's a quick spin move. And just wanted to show it to you guys. Nothing major. It doesn't get the actual sack. Technically, it's still a 7-yard completion. But I did want to show it to you guys. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. Check this play out. Watch Gervon Dexter blow this play up. Gain of about 2 yards. But he does a really nice job once again controlling and just making the freaking play. To me, this is just top tier stuff right here by this guy. Absolutely beautiful rep. Really gets into this guard's chest, really extends, creates that separation, pushes him to the side, and he's right there. He gets off the block when the running back gets close, wraps him up. That's a beautiful job. Now, at the same time, this is a zone run to the left, which once again means that this guy here has a reach block on Zacch Pickens, and he has to absolutely get better at this. We can't go into the season having the left guard be able to reach the long nose or the one technique defensive tackle. That's not going to work, because from this point here, the running back could possibly cut it through any single one of these gaps, and it's his responsibility to get into this run fit. So again, it's just some criticism. It's just something he'll have to continue to improve. And of course, keep all this in mind. All of this is really just us over analyzing the tape. In the grand scheme of things, this doesn't really matter, because what this guy is today, he'll be so much different in 3 to 4 weeks or even 3 to 4 months as the playoffs kind of approach around, the end of December. He'll be a lot different of a player. But again, this is just so we have a basis for both of the rookie defensive tackles, because we will be following these guys over the course of this career, over the course of the season specifically. But even as they continue over their career, we'll definitely be checking in on both of these guys. But right now, Gervon Dexter and Zacch Pickens are different types of players. I think Dexter's more of, he wants to defend the run and really do good things against the run. And to a point, the guy's very, very good against the run. You can kind of see it already. At the other end, Zacch Pickens is maybe a little bit better with his hands, right? He has those active hands. He may want to get after the quarterback and pass rush a little bit, which is okay, right? That's kind of the basis for both of these players. Alrighty, guys. So as you guys know, at this point of the video, we're in the end of the third quarter. Gervon Dexter is done for the day, but Zacch Pickens does continue to play, and he does make a pretty nice play here. You're going to get the guard that's going to try to reach him, but Pickens is going to take that guard and he's going to push him right back into the running back. Just a great job getting that guard off of him and really blowing this play up. To me, if you're going to get reached, and he kind of gets reached, but he does do a great job getting underneath that guard. And again, if you have a running back on your side and they're going to run this the way they're going to run it, and he's playing that one technique, what you could do is you could fight through the block. If you're able to get this guy far enough back, you can go underneath that. And in this instance, that works. So it's a really, really nice job by Pickens. Really breaks that contact, really takes this offensive lineman and tosses him to the side. It's a really, really, really nice run rep right there. This play loses 1 yard, and this was 3rd and 3. It's a really, really nice job right there. So at this point, both rookies are done for the day. We are now in the 4th quarter. I just want to show you guys his final rep. I want to just give Travis Bell a shout out. He ended up with the sack this game. Really nice job. They're going to run a defensive line game towards the left here. The DN goes first. The D tackle goes first. The end comes second. And he's going to get the sack here on the quarterback. A really, really nice job by Bell. Definitely a guy to kind of keep an eye on. Not saying that he's going to be anything great, but I'm just saying he definitely shows some flashes. He's very quick out of his stance. That's something that I like to watch, right? I like to watch defensive line, and he's just a guy that kind of stuck out to me, and he is a rookie. So for me, definitely something to kind of keep an eye on. But with that being stated, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Based off the tape that I watched, I think Zacch Pickens and Gervon Dexter definitely have some upside, and I think they're going to continue to develop, and they're going to continue to get better. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. We'll be following guys like Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins, Gervon Dexter, and Zacch Pickens, plus a bunch of other guys here on the Chicago Bears. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.